So this person asks what kinds of attractions I feel the most and I experience the most. And I really like questions like this because it gives me a moment to reflect on my journey and look back on the things I know now versus what I didn't know in the past. So there's really two schools of looking at this question, right? I could address what I most often experience or what types of attractions I feel the strongest or the most pull towards. And for that, there would be two different answers, right? I guess the most often I would say would be platonic attraction. I feel a lot of kinship towards my friends, and I have a lot of friends in a lot of different interests and in my career and in just having a long history with those people. So platonic attraction is probably the one that I feel the most often. But then if you ask me what I feel the strongest, it's probably going to be queer platonic attraction, which growing up I often confused with romantic attraction. I often felt like I was feeling romantic attraction towards my closest friends, and a lot of my friends growing up were often girls. So there was a lot of confusion going on there. I had such a strong admiration for a lot of my friends growing up, some in particular more than others. But I can remember when I was a freshman in high school, and one required class that we all had to take was a speech class where we had to write various speeches for different scenarios. And one of them that we had to write was a Person of the Year award that we would give away to somebody. And a lot of people gave theirs away to a celebrity that they really admired. For some reason, one that really sticks out in my head was one of the girls in my class gave the fake award to a race car driver named Tony Stewart. I don't know why that's the one that sticks out in my head, but that's the one I remember the best. I wrote mine towards a female friend of mine, and I just went into all of the things that made her amazing. I remember talking about how she was the class valedictorian at her 8th grade graduation class, how I admired her intelligence and her willingness to do anything for a friend, and all these amazing things that summed up our friendship. I didn't realize at the time, but I thought I had a crush on her. But the funny thing is, I never wanted to date her. And that's kind of an important part of feeling a crush towards someone, right? That you want something to happen with them romantically. And I didn't want that, partly because I was afraid of ruining the relationship I already had with her. Because to me, it was already perfect. I didn't want anything further because I already felt as strongly as I could for her. I just didn't know it yet. And there would be times where these miscommunications going on in my own head about how attraction works that would actually get me in a little bit of trouble. And that fear that I felt about that friendship, about pursuing something romantically, did end up coming true in a way a few years later. There was another girl that I had become close with who went to my school, and she asked me to be her guest to a dance. What I didn't know is that she was also inviting two of her other friends. And she had just gotten her license, so there was a restriction on her license that she could only drive one friend at a time. She wanted to drive her best friend to this dance. She wanted me to drive her other friend to the dance. And the dance was at another school. Now, this was at a time where they were a little less concerned with who attended dances. And, I don't think you could get away with this today. But all they asked for was our school IDs, even though they weren't from that particular school. So we were able to get into this dance without any issue. I asked her to dance, and when we were dancing, I told her how I felt, or at least how I thought I felt, that I thought I wanted a romantic relationship with her, that I really liked her, and I wanted to try a romantic relationship with her and take her out on a date. And that blew up in my face. She was not into that. Looking back, neither was I. But I thought, I can't deny how I feel about her anymore, and I want to try this. Maybe I do want to date her and I just don't know it. I didn't want to date her. I just didn't want to lose her. So I was willing to risk the relationship we already had to try and face these feelings I thought I had. The thing is, all of this happened in the late 2000s. I didn't know that I'm ace or aro until I was 29 and 31 years old. It would be a long time before any of this language arrived to me, before I had access to words like queer platonic attraction. And the thing is, I felt that all along, and it was very strong for me. In all of those cases, it was very strong for me. I haven't experienced queer platonic attraction in a while because I haven't gotten close enough to somebody in a long while to feel it. But I know that I'm still capable of it. I know that I can still feel that because I've been there before. And if I were able to find someone that I can connect with on that level, I know I would. Granted, I'm now in my 30s and careers have taken priority, and for a lot of other people, families have taken priority in starting their own families. So it's not as easy as it used to be, but it's not impossible. And I know that one of these days I'm going to find somebody that I connect with like that again. I just think it's so beautiful when you find somebody that you connect with on that level that you care so deeply about and they care about you. And you don't want anything necessarily from them, but for them to just exist in your world. And that's all I ever wanted from these girls and from all of my friends. Not just the two that I talked about in this video, but from everyone that I've ever felt that way about. That's all I've wanted, is for them to just exist in my world. That's been enough for me. I realize I have been very fortunate. I've had some amazing friends who have been that for me. I still have some of those friends in my life, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I think that they are some of the most supportive and caring and loving people that I've ever been around. And it doesn't matter what our love looks like, because the way it is now is perfect. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Have you experienced something like that before? I want to hear your story. Drop it in the comments. I want to pull for you and cheer for you, and I want to share these stories because I think they're just so beautiful. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Aro and Ace content. Thank you for joining me today, and remember, love is what you want it to be. You'll find whatever you're looking for. I did. So can you.